Right now, there's a mechanic shortage crisis happening across America that nobody's talking about. Dealerships are desperate to find qualified technicians. Service bays are sitting empty. And the mechanics who built careers at these dealerships are walking away and never coming back. I'm talking about master techs with 20, 30, even 40 years of experience just quitting. And it's not because they're retiring, it's because the entire dealership system has become so broken that skilled mechanics would rather do anything else. I spent 15 years as a dealership technician. I worked on everything from oil changes to complete engine rebuilds. I got every certification. I did everything right. 3 years ago, I walked out mid-shift and never went back. I left a $24 per hour flat rate job where I was working 60-hour weeks and barely clearing $40,000 a year. Today I'm going to tell you exactly why I left, why thousands of other mechanics are doing the same thing, and why this crisis is about to make your repair bills even more expensive than they already are. Let me start with something most people don't understand about how dealership mechanics actually get paid. We don't get hourly wages like normal jobs. We work on something called flat rate. Here's how it works. Every job has an assigned time. Let's say a brake job pays 2 hours. If I finish it in 1 hour, I get paid for 2. Sounds great, right? Here's the reality. If that brake job takes me 4 hours because the customer's rotors are rusted solid and every bolt is stripped, I still only get paid for 2 hours. I just worked 4 hours and got paid for 2. That's half my wage gone because the job went badly. Now imagine your paycheck depending entirely on how much work comes through the door. No work means no pay. I've had weeks where I worked 50 hours at the dealership, but only got paid for 28 hours because there wasn't enough work. I'd show up at 7 in the morning ready to work and sit in the break room until noon waiting for a car to come in. When work finally showed up, I'd scramble to get it done, but I'd already lost 5 hours of potential pay just sitting there. I've had entire days where I clocked in, sat around for 8 hours because business was slow, and went home with $0 earned. Meanwhile, the service advisors who have never touched a wrench get guaranteed salaries. The parts department guys get hourly pay. Even the lot porters washing cars get steady paychecks. But the guys actually fixing the cars, the ones with $10,000 in tools and years of training, we only get paid when we are turning wrenches. Then there's warranty work, and this is where it gets really ugly. When a customer brings in a car for warranty repairs, the manufacturer pays the dealership to fix it. But manufacturers pay way less than what they charge regular customers. A job that pays 4 hours to a retail customer might only pay 2.5 hours on warranty. Same exact work, same amount of time, same level of difficulty. But I get paid 40% less just because the manufacturer is footing the bill instead of the customer. And dealerships do tons of warranty work. Some months, 70% of my jobs were warranty repairs. That means 70% of my work was automatically paying me half of what it should. I'd work a full week, turn 45 hours of labor, but only get paid for 27 hours because most of it was warranty. That's how you end up working 60-hour weeks and barely making $40,000 a year. But it gets worse. When something goes wrong with a repair, guess who pays to fix it? Not the dealership, not the service manager who makes $80,000 a year, the technician who did the work. Let's say I replace a water pump and a week later, the customer comes back saying it's leaking. Even if the part was defective from the manufacturer, even if I torqued every bolt to spec and did everything perfectly, I have to diagnose the problem and fix it again for free. Zero pay. I'm working for free to repair something that wasn't even my fault. This happens constantly. Customer complaints, comebacks, warranty claims that get denied by the manufacturer. All of that falls on the technician's paycheck. We eat the cost of other people's mistakes. And let's talk about what happens when you actually make a mistake because we're human and mistakes happen. I once misdiagnosed an engine noise, told the customer it was a timing chain. We replaced it. $400 job, paid me 6 hours. Noise was still there, turned out to be a heat shield rattle. 10-minute fix. You know what happened? I had to give back the 6 hours I was paid for the timing chain job and do the heat shield repair for free. I worked a full day on that car and ended up with negative pay because I made an honest diagnostic mistake. That's the flat rate system. You're not just working for free when things go wrong. Sometimes you're actually paying the dealership to let you work there. Now let's talk about tools, because this is something people never think about. Dealership mechanics have to buy every single tool we use. The dealership provides the building and the lift. That's it. Everything else comes out of our pocket. When I started in 2008, I spent $12,000 on a basic tool set just to be able to do my job. That was before I could even think about specialty tools. Over 15 years, I spent close to $60,000 on tools. Diagnostic scan tools that cost $5,000 each, specialty pullers and presses, torque wrenches that had to be calibrated every year at my expense, a toolbox big enough to organize everything, which ran me $8,000 by itself. All of that comes from my paycheck while I'm getting paid flat rate with no guarantee of hours. The tool trucks would show up every week. Snap-on, Matco, Mac Tools. Beautiful shiny tools that cost 10 times what you'd pay at Harbor Freight. And yeah, they're better quality, but when you're paying $400 a week to the tool guy and you only made $600 that week because work was slow, you start questioning your life choices. I watch guys go into debt $20,000 deep on tool loans, making payments for years on tools they needed just to do their job. Tools the dealership should provide, but doesn't because they can make us pay for them instead. And here's the thing that made me finally quit. After 15 years, I was making less money in real terms than I did 5 years into my career. How is that possible? Because labor rates that customers pay went up dramatically, but technician pay barely moved. In 2010, my shop charged customers $90 per hour for labor. I got paid $24 per flat rate hour. That's roughly 26% of what the customer paid. The dealership kept the other $66 per hour to cover overhead, parts markup, and profit. By 2020, the shop was charging customers $140 per hour. Guess what I was making? $28 per flat rate hour. That's only 20% of what customers paid. The dealership was pocketing $112 per hour of my work while I got $28. Think about that. Customer prices went up 55%, but my pay only went up 16%. The dealership's profit per hour of my labor nearly doubled, while my wages stayed basically flat. And this was happening while the cost of everything else was going up. Rent, food, health insurance, tools, everything got more expensive except my paycheck. I was working harder, seeing more cars, generating more revenue for the dealership, and somehow taking home less buying power than I did a decade earlier. So what are mechanics doing instead? I'll tell you exactly where everyone's going, and this is what should terrify dealerships. Some of the best techs I know became plumbers. Same mechanical aptitude, same problem-solving skills, same ability to work with their hands, but plumbers make $75 to $90 per hour guaranteed. No flat rate bullshit, no warranty pay cuts, no working for free on comebacks, just steady work at steady pay. A plumber with 10 years of experience can easily clear $80,000 a year. That's double what most master techs make at dealerships. Others went into HVAC. The training and certification process is actually easier than becoming a master automotive technician. But HVAC techs make $50 to $80 per hour with full benefits and overtime pay. They work on systems that don't change drastically every model year. They're not constantly buying new tools to keep up with technology. And here's the big one. When an HVAC tech fixes something and it breaks again, the company pays them to go back and fix it. They don't work for free. Revolutionary concept, right? Some guys opened their own independent repair shops. They took their decades of experience and started competing directly with the dealerships that underpaid them for years. Now they're charging $80 to $100 per hour labor. They're keeping that money instead of giving it to a corporate dealership, and they're doing just fine. They work on the same cars, use the same skills, but now they control their own income. No flat rate, no warranty pay cuts, no service manager taking a percentage of their productivity. And honestly, a lot of guys just left the industry completely. They took their mechanical knowledge and problem-solving skills and went to work in factories as maintenance techs making $35 per hour, guaranteed with overtime and benefits. Some became inspectors, some learned welding or fabrication. Some went into completely different fields because anything was better than the dealership grind. These were master certified technicians with ASE credentials and manufacturer training. The kind of techs who could diagnose anything just by sound and fix it right the first time. And they walked away because the dealership system treated them like disposable parts. The mechanics who stayed at dealerships, they fall into two categories. Either they're within 5 years of retirement and just trying to hold on long enough to collect whatever pension or benefits they've accumulated, or they're kids fresh out of tech school who don't know any better yet. These young techs come in excited to work on cars. They think they're going to make good money doing something they love. Give them 2 years and they'll figure out what we all figured out. You can't make a living wage on flat rate when dealerships keep cutting tech pay and loading up on warranty work. They'll either leave like the rest of us, or they'll stay and be mediocre because the system punishes excellence and rewards just doing enough to get by. And that's the crisis nobody wants to talk about. The experienced master techs who could diagnose anything and fix it right the first time are gone. What's left are undertrained 22-year-olds doing the best they can, but without the knowledge that comes from 20 years of seeing every possible problem. That's why your car goes to the dealership 3 times for the same issue. The first tech throws parts at it, the second tech tries something else. Maybe by the 3rd visit someone figures it out. That's why repairs take 3 weeks instead of 3 days. There aren't enough experienced techs to handle the workload. That's why you're paying $150 per hour, but getting worse service than when labor was $90 per hour 10 years ago. And it is only going to get worse. Dealerships cannot find qualified techs anymore because the word has spread. Young people looking at careers talk to current mechanics. They see us working 60-hour weeks, paying for our own tools, getting our pay cut on warranty work, and barely making enough to afford rent. They look at other trades where you make more money, get treated better, have guaranteed hours, and do not have to buy your own equipment. Which would you choose? The dealership model is broken beyond repair. It is designed to extract maximum profit from technicians while giving us minimum pay, 0 job security, and all the financial risk. And the mechanics who built this industry are walking away because we finally realize our skills are worth more than what dealerships are willing to pay. So the next time you are at a dealership and they tell you it will be 3 weeks to get your car in, and the repair costs are twice what you expected, and it will probably need to come back 2 more times before it is fixed, right? Understand that is not because mechanics are lazy or incompetent. It is because all the good ones left, and they are not coming back. The dealerships that treated us like disposable labor for decades are now discovering what happens when you push skilled workers too far. We left. And now they are stuck trying to run service departments with whoever they can find, which is not much. If you found this valuable, subscribe for more truths about what's really happening in the automotive industry. Because this mechanic shortage is just getting started, and it's going to cost everyone a lot more money before anything gets better.